Welcome to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or we'll buy it. If you have any questions, just give us a call at 799-9596 or check us out online at teamlally.com.
Well, hey, everybody, a little bit about myself. You know, I never left the island of Hawaii, island of Oahu, the gathering place, till I was 18. Because my dad was in the fire department. He was coming up. You know, he did retire as a fire chief, but in the meantime, he never had the money for us to be going to Disneyland and everything. I mean, I swear, my kids have been to more places in the world by the time they were 10 than I had been till I was like 30. Anyway, I was admitted to the University of Arizona, and it was I was just wasting my time and my parents' money going there. But I got to have an experience of what it's like to be in Arizona and growing up in Hawaii. And so the reason why I bring that up is I saw this movie. I got to remember, and people listening to the show will know the name of this movie. But there was a show, I think it had to be in the 80s, but it was like there was a kid in Arizona, and it's a real, like, one of those places where they do the wave machine. Mm-hmm. That place is closed. I think it was in Phoenix or Tempe or whatever in Arizona. And he was like surfing, and he was shredding, and he was doing really good. And then he had a dream to go to the North Shore of Hawaii. Mm-hmm. And then they did a movie about him. And it's a fictional movie, but it's hilarious because the guys he was all talking story with, the local kids, like they did stuff like, I don't know, there was like, that was back in the day when sugarcane was still being harvested here in Hawaii. And one of the things they do to harvest sugarcane is they would burn the fields to get all the leaves off so that they can just harvest the cane itself with these big claws and stuff. So they drop them off in the middle of a field, and and the thing is on fire. And so they're always like pranking him and razzing him because he's from the mainland. But one of the things I just remember is like, he was being introduced, like one of the local kids was introducing this haole kid from Arizona about surfing on the North Shore. And back then, and it's probably still a little bit like, oh, hey, oh, you know, very territorial. Like a lot of surf places are like that. And they just said, this is my friend. I don't know. We call him Jerry. I don't know. Is that a good haole name from Arizona?
Yeah.
Okay. His name was Jerry. And he's like, this is my friend Jerry. He's from Arizona. He came North Shore for surf. And then the other kids look at him like, he's one kook. They're like, what's a kook? And immediately being born and raised here, like, we really actually didn't say, he's one kook. And what that means is that's a reference to Captain Cook.
Yes.
And by the way, Captain Cook was the original plate lunch because we wouldn't eat him. They had one L&L on Big Island. They're like, hey, we running out of...
He deserved it, though.
We're running out of meat. June, get that haole guy over there off the horse. We need to finish the lunch rush today.
It was to get his power, though.
To get his mana.
The mana, yeah.
That's
why they ate him.
You sure it wasn't L&L?
No.
Okay.
They're not cannibals. It was for the power, the mana.
For the mana.
Yes.
So when your kids bite you real hard, they're just trying to get your mana. When a dog bites your okole, he's just trying to get your mana. But anyway, you're like, what is all this about, Attilio? This is random. Hey, it's called Attilio's Random Thoughts. And so it's a long path, but we're going to get there.
Hopefully,
we went
soon
on a vacation to the Cook Islands.
We did.
Yeah, it was awesome. So we're going to talk about it in the beginning of the show.
Which, by the way, they don't like. They're trying to get rid of that name, the Cook Islands. They don't like that reference.
Yeah, there's a recent book. I think it's called Maidens of the Pacific, and Captain Cook kind of liked the natives a little bit on the young side, and the actual historical story that came out from his scribe. And by the way, a scribe is like a recorder. So if you drop an F-bombs on your people, they write it down. And so this has come to surface, and it's been put together in a book called The Maidens of the Pacific. This was told to us. What was our Rob?
Yes, Rob.
Big Samoan guy who lives out there. He born in Samoa, but he went to school and grew up in San Francisco, went to University Pacific, studied Polynesian cultural history. And he talked about how Captain Cook, here's the real reason why he ended up in an L&L plate lunch special for the day, is that he, one of the children of King Kamehameha, or relative of King Kamehameha, 14, he captured him, kidnapped the girl. She jumped off the boat, swam to Molokai, and then they told him Captain Cook, King Kamehameha. You know, King Kamehameha was like 6-something.
Big guy.
You do not want to have a pissed off King Kamehameha on the other side of whatever you used to be doing. So they went chase down Captain Cook and like, sorry, brah, you today's daily special. And then that was the end of Captain Cook. We say Captain Cook.
And they took down his statue.
So in New Zealand, they took down his statue.
He's renaming some schools there too.
He's like the Confederate general of monuments in the U.S. All that stuff's coming down because it has too much connotations and connections to our negative history of slavery. And so his stuff's coming down. So they really want to change the name. But anyway, a little bit of history about the Cook Islands. There are, I think 14 or 15 islands. The 3 main islands, and the main one we went to was Rarotonga.
Yep.
Rarotonga.
There's like 12,000 people that live there full time.
They all, you know what's cool about the Cook Islands? They all look like people like you would be running around at Tomura's at Waianae, but they have this cool accent. Mm-hmm. They sound like New Zealanders. Well, they call them Kiwis. That's the nickname for the New Zealand. Don't call them Australian. Don't call them Australian. That's like telling somebody you from Waianae, but they're from Hawaii Kai. Like, oh, whoa, that's fighting words. But so they're like New Zealanders, and they're the Maori, the original native culture there. And you know what's super cool? As a native Hawaiian myself, I was like, why us Hawaiians never do this? All the land in the Cook Islands is leasehold, can only be owned by Maori, and it's handed down to the family. So even if you go build one 4 seasons and spend $100 million building it, one aulani, the dirt is still owned by the native culture, native peoples, First Peoples, and then everything above the dirt, we're going to let you have it temporarily for 60 years. So that's totally cool. To rent. And just imagine, you were like, oh, I'm Hawaiian and I'm going to have to foreclose on you because it's coming up on 59 years. I'm taking back
renegotiate.
I'm taking back the aulani.
It's time to renegotiate.
But let's talk about the fun. You know, that's the history, the cultural background. The original Maori, they were amazing ocean navigators. They could literally navigate by the stars before satellites, GPS, and Elon Musk and Starlink. And they were noted to have gone as far as Antarctica, that far south. The other thing that's cool about Cook Islands, what time zone they on?
Same
as Hawaii.
Same time, same day.
You be like,
it's only a 6-hour flight.
I know. We got there at 10 o'clock at night, and it was 10 o'clock at night over there, and I was like, oh, no more jet lag.
You didn't have to even change your watch.
No more change my watch. By the way, you can tell old school people, they will have a watch. I have a watch.
Yeah, people that...
And I always leave it on Hawaii time.
People that grew up before the internet.
Yeah, and so I will tell you right now, there's a reason why I leave it on Hawaii time. I don't know how to change the time. I found a millennial to set the time for me, and I don't know how. But I like knowing what time it is back home, wherever I'm at in the world. Mm-hmm. But anyway, in the Cook Islands, we was going because did it come? Like they're running a lot of commercials and specials right now.
Yeah, and actually, one of our past clients and friends, Helena, which we went to go see her there.
But what's the place she's at?
At
Lures?
And Lures Street, Kelly O'Neill's. She's there every Saturday with her and her wife, and
she's awesome.
They're amazing singers. Well, anyways, they went for a week and went to visit and just had a wonderful trip. And
by the way, Kelly O'Neill's, what night is she there?
Saturday.
She's there Saturday. She knows like 400 different songs by memory. Her wife is even an awesome singer.
They're both just amazing people.
They're former Team Lally clients. When you walk in during their session, drop a 20 in the tip bucket, yell "Chee-hoo," and tell them we're coming because Team Lally sent us here. Then she can say, "Shut up, go back over there, listen to the songs." But anyway, Cook Islands.
Yeah, so that was, she was the first one.
I swear, you know with the ADHD, and I feel like when I'm in the show, I have you're infecting me. You're infecting me with your ADHD. But anyway,
off on you.
Back to the Cook Islands, I will tell you, it's very inexpensive.
Yeah. So
compared to Hawaii.
Yeah, it's like 40% off. So because our dollar is pretty strong against
the New Zealand
dollar.
Yeah, so it's like 50 cents. What is it? 50 cents. 50 cents. 2 quarters here gets you $1 there.
Yeah, about somewhere around that. Between like 50 to 59 cents is the
anyway.
rate. Yep.
We went to what was it? Hamburger Haven. Hamburger Plantation?
Burger
Burger
Palace.
Palace.
We have a video about Burger Palace.
By the way,
go look on my Instagram.
If you have an hour and a half to wait for a $2.50 burger.
Actually, it's like $1 if you do the exchange rate.
Yeah. Because we kept, and the island is pretty small. I think we went around the island 10 times. But, traffic.
There's no traffic.
There's no traffic. Everybody's going 30 miles per hour. Had one speedier going 32. He was on an electric bike. We're like, slow down. But we went to we kept driving by and we're like, oh, should we eat over there?
It's so busy.
It's
so many
busy.
people. Look at that. We should go there.
And they're like, and then they have this thing.
And we found out why.
But they're like, oh, when is happy hour? Oh, it's right now.
Every hour is happy hour.
Every hour is happy hour. Every day is happy hour. And they're just the locals and the tourists.
Burger happy hour.
And they're like, anyway, couple.
Put our order in.
We put our order in. And then we noticed some kids was jumping in the harbor, and then we're like,
it was a hot day.
It was super. It's a little bit hotter there because they're
closer to the equator.
I don't know if they're closer to the equator, but they're on the lower part of the equator, in the lower part of the hemisphere. And
it was hot.
It's a little bit hotter, but you can go jump in the ocean, and it will tell you the water is like in those commercials, like all those
very
YouTubers
clear.
with those. They probably do it here. Very clear, very clean. The best way that I could describe, I swear the Hawaii Visitors Bureau for the Cook Islands should be like paying us right now. Mm-hmm. We're pumping them up so much. But there is a direct flight once a week from Hawaiian Airlines.
It's only 6 hours.
Hawaiian Airlines, by the way, we're looking for an airline sponsor. Mm-hmm. Southwest just gave up their spot. That's kind of funny because they were never a sponsor. But Hawaiian Airlines, we are looking for another airlines to come and be a sponsor of our radio show. So if you're listening to our show, laughing your okole off and say, we should be the airline sponsor.
Well, you should direct it to Alaska because now I think they make the decisions.
Yeah. And they have by the way, in Hawaii, they get this little hey, if you're local, we give you discount.
The Kama'aina discount.
Yeah, but
it's called something different.
I don't know. You know what? I think it should be Kanaka Mo'oli discount. And then every time you go through TSA, you put your hands up and yell, Kukiai Mauna!
Okay, so back to Burger Palace.
Back at Burger Palace, we're like jumping in the ocean. We figure, we're fooling around.
Should be ready soon.
Should be ready soon. We come back, sit down, and we're completely dry. But we're like, and then we're seeing, and it was the takeout people.
Yeah.
I walk up
boxes of burgers.
I wonder if our order is ready. And then get this guy in front of me picking up 50 burgers.
And the lady, she gives us stink eye when we were checking on our burger. You'll know. I'll call you.
There was an episode in the Seinfeld. It was Soup Nazi. She was Burger Nazi.
She was.
No burger for you. But so we didn't want to you don't want to ask too much because then you'd be like, that burger would fall on the ground and would flip them back up in the bun.
But it was about an hour plus of wait time.
And I would tell you.
We were hungry. We had fun.
We didn't even order fries. We was
just burgers.
Just burgers. Literally tinfoil, slap them. And they like to put coleslaw?
Yeah, we did the
and
coleslaw.
Cheese. It was an interesting flavor, but it was a good burger. Kind of like the quality of, say, the cafeteria kind, Auntie's cafeteria kind hamburger at the public school. Not necessarily like a Teddy's. Teddy's would be like the filet mignon, the Ruth Chris of burgers. Teddy's, big shout out to Teddy's. We love it. They got the thickest. Their shakes are so thick. You literally need somebody standing by to do the Heimlich on you when you drink their shakes. They're so thick. Anyway, but not like...
okay, so what more do they need to know about this Burger Palace in the Cook Islands? Because we need to get onto our real estate show.
If you guys are watching it online, but I bought this for my daughter, Isabella. It's a coconut purse.
You had to get a little termite inspection on it.
Yeah, it's a purse.
It's been inspected.
Yeah, Kilowatt Pest Control did the termite inspection, so I can make it through customs, but it opens up and pretty cool. I got her, she's 25 years old. I think she'll be hanging out with the millennials at the Old Town Scottsdale, that's where she lives. Would she walk in there in the nightclub with a coconut purse?
Maybe.
I think it's kind of cool.
But her phone wouldn't fit in that. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. She'd have to have a clip or something.
Yeah. What else we got? Oh, tell them about, was her name Norma? Auntie Norma.
Yes, I think.
Yeah.
That's her name.
Yeah. So we made one pareo sarong. And it's pretty cool because you actually make it yourself. And so here's the I'm gonna get over here. Talk about how we made this. I'll just show it in the background, and then we'll get on with it.
So you pick out the color of the cloth, and then you pick your 3 colors, and it's this handmade board that's been carved with these different designs. And you just put the colors on, and then the board, because it's lifted up, it catches the design throughout the cloth, and then it dries overnight, and then you've got to iron it to set the dye. And voila.
But yeah, so it was not made in Chile. It was not hecho en Mexico. Mm-hmm. But we actually made it on the spot, came back a couple days later, and she's just on the side of the road cranking these things out, and all the tourists are making them. So you can make your own souvenirs over there. So I'm going to talk to my mom because I want to make one version of this in Waianae.
I think that's an excellent idea.
Like this. Make your own pareo.
Yeah, bring it to Oahu.
All right,
so before we take our break...
Wait, hold on. I want to give 5 quick tips for traveling to the Cook Islands. First of all, bring your own snorkel gear.
Yes.
Because they give it to you for free, but it's all nasty with suntan lotion. Mm-hmm. So bring your own because you can be snorkeling like crazy over there. Every day.
Every day you snorkel. Every spot of the island is a good spot.
And we wanted to take our phones in the water, but the lady told us, do not be buying no cheap phone thing because your $1,000 iPhone is going to be a paperweight. So we didn't have it at the time, but I ordered it off Amazon. I recommend it's from Pelican.
Yep. So get your underwater phone case.
And before you go in the ocean, Pelican, you guys should be on sponsor too.
Yes.
Before you go in the ocean, they have instructions to test it in the sink so you know how to properly operate it. Because you're going to be like, oh, you see that photo underneath the water with the turtle? That cost me $1,000 because my phone doesn't work anymore. But anyway.
Oh, also make sure that you have the sun shirts because
the sun a little bit brutal over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so those are your friend while you're snorkeling.
Our sun here is like your auntie with fresh banana bread. Their son is like one bully who kick your okole every day after school. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit tougher.
It is.
Yeah.
So make sure you have those. Any other tips? You said you had 5 tips.
You don't really need to get the money because every place, they even do Apple Pay, credit cards, all of that stuff. The people are so nice. Go to all the different things. We went on bike tours. We went on Jeep tours.
A hike.
Hike. There are so many places on the ocean. Oh, the only one place we regretted not having cash was the nighttime. What was that?
Oh, the night market. The
night market.
Murray night market.
And all the places is so awesome with their food that like in the first hour they all sell out.
Mm-hmm. So get there early.
Nadia, her daughter was so PO'd. All she wanted was the coconut with to put the straw in.
Yeah.
She gets up to the line and they're like, "Oh, we just ran out." And the line was like 20 minutes long.
That's okay. We'll get her a coconut here.
She was just as mad as if her phone was on 1% battery.
I know. All right, well, we're going to talk about the deal of the week, and then we're going to take a break.
Okay.
All right, so the deal of the week this week is in Eva Beach.
Listed at $415,000.
It is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo.
Updated floors, chew out.
1 assigned parking, covered parking.
Covered parking, so you don't get sunburned if you have unconvertible. Community pool, barbecue grills.
Located near school, shopping, and the rail.
And it's really close to street parking.
Yeah, lots of street parking. The exterior has just been painted. It's a cute little unit, and it's gonna be gone quick.
It is gonna go quick if you want early access.
Lowest price 1-bedroom.
Yeah, if you want access to it to that nightclub that nobody knows, and if you got to get in, you need your own password. All you got to do is go to teamlally.com. Give us a call 799-9596.
All right, so we're going to take a break, but stay with us. When we come back, we're going to be talking about what is a short sale.
Yes, what is a short sale?
Decades 107.9 playing the greatest music ever made. It's Mornings with Augie. Hey, you know someone that moved to the mainland but left the rental property behind? So Amber wanted to create a new investment opportunities on the mainland, but she had to sell her island rental first. So she reached out to our good friends Adrienne and Lally and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Real Estate Group of Keller Williams, Honolulu. Handling the business virtually with Amber, Adrienne and Attilio came prepared with multiple 5-star selling strategies, including adjusting Amber's selling price expectations, and the home sold in days. If you're in the market to sell your home and you want a team that will make you the most money with the least amount of drama, you can trust our good friends, Adrienne and Attilio of Team Lally. Give them a call today, 808-799-9596. That's 808-799-9596. They're trusted. You see these signs all over in my community. Visit teamlally.com today. That's teamlally.com today.
Hey, Sean Hannity here, talking with the only real estate agent in your market I recommend. Adrienne Lally and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Real Estate Group of Keller Williams, Honolulu. Now more than ever, buyers and sellers need an expert to navigate this ever-changing market. And what do you do to stand out?
Hey, Sean, we are a team with over 500 plus 4.9 star reviews, over 1,600 transactions under belt, and 20 years in the business. It's going to take a lot of resources to get a home sold today.
What kind of programs do you offer?
Sean, we offer the guaranteed sale, instant offer close in 12 days, 10K for upgrades, love it or leave it, no hassle listing. No matter what situation the client is in, we've got solutions.
Great update. Thank you for keeping us informed. Put the most experience and the best marketing to work for you. Call Team Lally now at 799-9596 or online at teamlally.com. That's teamlally.com.
In today's fast-changing real estate market, you need access to the right information to make smart choices. I invest in real estate all over the country, and I rely on smart agents who know their local market inside and out. In Honolulu, I work with Adrienne Lally and Attilio Leonardi. Adrienne, Attilio, and their team sell a home every 72 hours and have over 750 five-star reviews. Go to teamlally.com and find out in just seconds what your home is really worth.
Welcome back, and thanks for listening to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or we'll buy it. I'm Adrienne.
And I'm still Attilio.
And if you have any questions, just give us a call at 799-9596 or check us out online at teamlally.com.
All right, so we have a quiz for you guys today. I'm going to ask a question, and Adrienne's going to give the answer. Your one or two answers, true, not true.
Okay.
All right. So, this is all about short sales. And if you guys know what a short sale is, its basic definition is that the homeowner can only sell their home if they're less than 5 feet tall.
Not true.
Not true. Okay. All right. We got off to a good start. You're very good. You're 1 for 1.
Yay.
A short sale, in its very black and white basic definition, is that when you sell your home, and the net proceeds do not match or exceed the loan balance. So if your net proceeds from the sale of the home is going to be less than the mortgage balance, that is a short sale.
That would be correct.
That is correct. You are correct. All right. So
very good.
We have a base foundation for what a short sale is. There's a couple of myths and stuff like that.
And let's talk about the reason why we're bringing this up.
Why are we bringing this up? We're bringing this up because, there's really, people are fine. They have a ton of equity in their homes. Interest rates are low. No. And that's not what's happening. And,
it's come to our attention because just, in the last week, our team has met with 4 different sellers that have different types of
backgrounds,
different situations, different parts of the islands.
Condos.
Yeah,
homes.
and they are all
upside
down. And some of them are current, some of them are behind, but they all have legitimate hardships.
Yeah. So, true or false that you need to be behind on mortgage payments to do a short sale? False.
Yes.
Banks, now back in a little bit of history for Adrienne and I, I started doing short sales literally right out of the gate when I got my license in 2007 because there was, a global economic meltdown going on around the world. I think Ireland and Greece went bankrupt. Mm-hmm. But I think Greece, even till today, when you go to an ATM, only monopoly money comes out. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. But the bottom line is that...
Well, let's talk about some of the reasons why this is starting to circle back. I mean, here we are in 2025.
Yeah, things go up and down.
you're talking about back in 2007. It was like 2007 to maybe 2011, 12. And then they started to kind of trickle out.
Well, they trickled out because what had happened was the Frank Dodd Act, he's a congressman, put together a lot of heavy-duty regulations in place to regulate all of that out. Back in those times, I'm not joking, but there was a dog that got a mortgage.
Yeah. There's more regulation on loans.
Yeah.
Now, that was a different situation. What's happening now, specifically in Hawaii, because it's not necessarily happening everywhere across the United States.
Yeah.
But we have a kind of a unique situation.
Well, we have a high cost of living, and what's happening is that people are we're seeing a lot of the people that when interest rates were 2% and 3%, were they paying the exact list price, or were they paying over?
They're paying over.
You're paying over because it was like an MMA cage match with 10 people, 10 buyers in there for one seller. And so you were overbidding, overpaying, literally going over appraised value. And then you're like, oh, wow. We didn't. It's kind of like when you buy stuff at an auction, the ego is just going mental. But you're like, I just paid $900 for an ashtray. What the heck was I thinking? And then after, and then you got to make payments. So just imagine
I think that's one component is that, that maybe like they paid a little bit more than they should have when the interest rates were low.
And then the mortgage is like, whoa.
Yeah. But I think that, what we're seeing is that we've got a lot of military people that are coming up on orders.
Yeah.
And yes, they probably paid a premium.
Paid
a premium, and now it's time to.
Let's get rid of the premium. Yeah. When you buy a home, no money down with the VA mortgage, it's not a free mortgage. There are costs involved, and they're rolled back in there. And what happens is that, like, let's say you buy a condo for $500,000. The day you close, your mortgage balance is $510,000. Because you have everything rolled in.
Yeah, you have the VA funding fee, and you might choose to have all your closing costs rolled in.
Yeah.
So, like, there's that. And then, you're talking about a condo. What are we seeing happening, Attilio, with a lot of the condos, or even like the CPR single-family homes? What are we seeing with those maintenance fees? What's happening?
It's like, it's like my list of boyfriends that would never date my daughter. Is just, you have a list. Oh, let's just make sure that he has a valid driver's license for a condo. Let's make sure that the insurance is not going to go through the roof, because what we're finding is that people's maintenance fees were $500 when they bought the condo, and then not even a year or two later, they're like $1,200. And what's happening, it's not like there's a whole bunch of elevators that need to be repaired. It's the insurance. And Adrienne, why is the insurance going crazy wackadoodle off the charts? And it's not a Hawaii thing. This is nationwide.
Oh, just because of the amount of natural disasters.
Yeah, hurricanes.
And I think specifically like California, Florida, Hawaii. And I have this article from the Hawaii Business. Yeah. And they basically said a few buildings saw those premiums increase by an extraordinary 900%.
What the?
Yes. And then there's quite a few that were increased by 300%.
Yeah. So what that means is, and this is what's happening, don't go murder your board, because the boards of the associations are made up of homeowners. Don't go murder the property management company. And don't go murder the insurance companies either, because what's happening is in the last couple of years, there's been a lot of claims on this insurance because of all these natural disasters. And then for Hawaii specifically, we have the Lahaina fires. There's billions of dollars there. And then you got the LA fires. So what's happening is insurance companies like in California, Allstate and Farmers, they're like, we're out of here. And they were just getting them back in, enticing them in. Oh, come over here. Come inside. I got cookies and milk for you. That's what California was doing. Boom, the LA fires. They're like, we're out of here. Because what's happening, insurance companies make money when the premiums come in, but they don't have to do a bunch of claims. So when you stack up, like let's say you're an insurance company and you insure 10,000 cars and 9,000 of them get into auto accidents.
You're out of business.
You're out of business, or you got to increase your premiums by 900% so you don't go out of business. So that's what's happening. So nobody had a crystal ball for this. I mean, insurance companies have the best crystal ball because they do what's called actuaries, and they do statistics and probabilities.
So back to the maintenance fees going up, and what happens there is that pushes the resale value, kind of just puts some pressure on that. And
down.
And we've seen that specifically in a neighborhood that's in Mililani. We're working with a seller to sell their home.
Yeah.
That very thing has happened. And then they've been warned that there's more increases coming. So there was a sale maybe last year before these increases that sold at $100,000 more than where the properties are selling now.
And it's not bad on anybody. And we sat down with these people, military couple, and we just told them we have solutions for you. So, for example, if your mortgage in that situation and you're upside down is a VA mortgage, the veteran, and this is well worth it and deservedly for people that are in the situation making the ultimate sacrifice to protect this country that we have and our freedoms, they should have this benefit, which is that if they're ever in default or in a situation where they're upside down in the property, the Veterans Administration...
And they have a legitimate hardship.
And they have a valid hardship.
So a hardship would be like,
divorce.
I have PCS orders and I need to leave. And if I put a tenant in here, I'm going to be negative $2,000
a month, which I don't have and can't afford, and will be in bankruptcy.
Yes. So, I mean, there's you got to have legitimate
loss of income,
hardships.
Divorce, death, bankruptcy,
medical
bills
issues.
through the roof.
Yeah,
those are all what we call valid hardships. And so what will happen is in the VA mortgage, by the way, when you start falling behind on your mortgage, there's a thing called an acceleration clause. And that acceleration clause in plain English says we can say the whole entire balance is due right now because it's one of the step-by-step processes in the foreclosure process. People say, I want to buy a foreclosure. You can't buy a foreclosure. It's a process. It's like buying an adverb.
Let's go back to the foreclosure process here in Hawaii because this is different state by state.
Yeah,
right?
So there are typically two types of foreclosure processes. You have power of sale and judicial. Power of sale means, boom, we're foreclosing on you. We do all the paperwork, put it in the newspaper, go down to the courthouse, and in 5 minutes it's over, and then that's it.
And the sheriff is there, changing the locks, and you're out.
Yeah, and you're out. So we used to be that, and then a law was put into place converting us to judicial, which means you still do the auction, yada, yada, but then there's a court proceeding.
And that can take months, if not years.
Yeah,
it's a very long legal process that is, it can take some time.
With the COVID and all of that, the court systems got backed up. I don't even know if they're still caught up, but we were down there in small claims court, and I'll tell you, my hat's off to the judicial system, the judge, all the people working down there because they were doing the Zoom thing.
Very patient people.
They were doing the Zoom, and it was like boom, 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 and one thing after another with the Zoom and the people showing up. But anyway.
So we have
back to the short sale,
and we have a longer process when it comes to the foreclosure. So that's good news.
The good news is that
we can help you. We don't have to
what you see on TV where the sheriff is coming in, kicking your door in, and taking all your stuff, putting it in boxes on the sidewalk, and then changing the locks. That's TV stuff.
Although. Let's go back to the association. Associations have different rules. Yeah. So if you are behind with your association, depending on who the association is, they can get in there and get you out pretty quickly.
There is a law in the book, and what says is that they can foreclose just like a lender can if you're deficient on your maintenance fees, and they're going to move a lot quicker because here's the context of the situation. Let's call it a 300-unit complex is collecting $500 a piece. If you got 10 owners in there in default, that's $5,000. At $500 a pop, that's $5,000 a month. They're being deficient. Whereas a mortgage, your mortgage is piled into a mortgage-backed security that may have 100, 500, 1,000 mortgages in there, and if 5 of them go into default, you still have 998 other mortgages that are paying, and so the bank's like, whatever, it's just a drop in the drop of the bucket. And we've seen people be in homes for 10 years not making mortgage payments because they'll get around to it when they get around to it. Or maybe they're like, it's not worth the time and energy.
They have a process, and they do the loan modifications, and they try and do the forbearance. There's a lot of different things that are available to homeowners that are behind. Yeah. And we go over that.
That. So one of the things we do with the short sale is the last thing we do is we're looking at your house. We're doing the pictures. We're doing open houses because for realtors that don't know what they're doing, that's what they're doing because they're doing the traditional sale. They're doing the traditional sale and not slowing down to make sure that they've got all the paperwork for the short sale.
It's all in the preparation.
That would be like...
and that is part of the preparation.
Doing a short sale and just going straight into marketing and opening escrow would be like getting your frozen turkey from Safeway and just chucking it in the oven with the bag and everything still on. You're like, whoa, 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 whoa.
That's not going to turn out well.
And then you poison all your family because the turkey took 9 hours to cook.
And everyone has
like
food poisoning. They're in the hospital.
They're like, I love having
It's
turkey.
like the worst Thanksgiving ever.
I love having turkey dinners at my grandma's house. It smells like plastic. It smells like her couch with the covers.
So it's a little different. There's a little bit of a different process is what Attilio is trying to say.
Yeah, you got to take the turkey out of the bag. You got to defrost them.
It's all in the preparation.
You got to lomi the turkey with the ingredients, and you got to put the stuffing in. And
okay, what happened to our game? I thought you were supposed to be asking me questions.
Oh, I got sidetracked. But anyway, we're just, never mind the game. We're just going into what is a short sale and giving people the goods.
Okay.
So,
and especially if they're in trouble, if they're behind on mortgage payments or maybe their maintenance fees went up a lot.
Yeah.
And, it's just like,
I'm going to tell you right now.
Like you got a budget. And you can't stay within that budget.
Let's say it's gone like you're paying $1,000 more for your maintenance fee and you have like 10 grand in the bank. So you got 10 months of reserves. And if you don't like go pull a gun on your boss and say, give me a raise.
Or like go find some other second or third or fourth job.
Or go do Uber Eats.
Or sell pictures of your feet.
Yeah, or sell pictures. Okay, that's gross. I wouldn't pay money for pictures of your feet. But anyway.
Someone might.
Yeah, I was talking with this lady and it was an hour and a half with this 82-year-old lady. She owns one place in Kailua and she was trying to marry me to her daughter. And I said, Adrienne probably wouldn't go for that. But we have interesting conversations with people, speaking of pictures of your feet. But anyway, with the short sale, number one is you got to make sure that the agent, it's almost, I'm not saying we are attorneys, but there's so much legal action and things that you got to be aware. We're not playing attorney for you attorneys to be like, what? You said you were an attorney? No. If I ever said I was an attorney, I would only say that I play one on TV, but I'm not one in real life.
Well, you know what, though? One of our business partners actually owned one of the top law firms that did all the foreclosures.
Yeah.
And we do have some very close relationships with attorneys and that really do understand this process.
And this is how it works with foreclosure here in the state of Hawaii. There's only a handful of law firms that are contracted by the national law firms that work with all the big banks, Bank of Hawaii, Wells Fargo, whatever, and then they subcontract to the local banks that are licensed, and then that's like their one thing. Mm-hmm. There's only a couple of law firms that deal with all the association foreclosures. It's always the same guys, so we always know. Oh, and then you always got to know, there's Nina the paralegal. We know she likes chocolate-covered macadamia nuts, so we make sure that goes in with our files. But anyway, they're used to... So you got to know like the back end etiquette of how to work these files, and that if you're going in there guns a-blazing and yelling and screaming, your file...
Or if your file is missing items.
Yeah, they're not going to call you.
No, you got to have a complete packet. I think we should go through some of the myths that people have, or even misconceptions.
All right,
about
so
short
number
sales.
one.
And I know that if the people that are within our industry that are realtors, they may not be familiar, that the general public is definitely, not going to know.
So
it's been a while since our last short sale.
Yeah, just like Shark Week on the Learning Channel, we're going to go through the 7 most dangerous short sale myths. It's like the 7 most dangerous shark species.
It's like short sale week.
Short sale week on TLC. So number one, short sales are impossible and never get approved.
Nothing could be further from the truth.
Are short sales more difficult? Yes. Do you need to learn the new process? Yes. Are they impossible? No.
You need patience, you need a process, and just determination.
Here's the thing to keep in mind, folks, for realtors. A lot of times y'all have perceptions of us realtors like we're the medical doctor that does brain surgery, foot surgery, colonoscopies, do work with babies, work with pregnant people and all. No, there's no such thing as a doctor that is an expert in everything. And so you've got to make sure that you're working with a specialist. And an easy way to find out if an OBGYN is good is to ask them, how many babies have you delivered? And number two, have they all lived? Mm-hmm. And with an agent, and if you're in that situation where you're upside down, facing foreclosure or not, you're going to ask the agent, how many short sales have you completed? Successfully. And how many have we done? I don't know. It's got to be over 300.
I would say over 350.
Over 350.
Yeah, and all sorts of different types.
Yeah.
Where it's,
every scenario.
The VA short sale.
Bank.
We've got investors, conventional, even hard money lenders. All sorts of different scenarios.
One time we had one mom foreclosing on the son. We dealt with that one. No, I don't know if we have it, but anyway.
No, we had the mom that bought the son's house, and the bank approved that.
Because we told them.
Yeah, as long as it's it's
disclosed.
It has to be disclosed. So normally the arm's length
applies.
Yes, but if you disclose it and the bank approved, then it was.
And it's pretty scary because the short sale packet. There's this one. I vividly remember it. It's this one piece of paper, and it literally has the FBI medallion logo thing dead center, and it said it is fraudulent for you to be purchasing this unit if you are not arm's length, because you will have people that be like, oh, you know what? This interest rate is crazy, and I'm upside down in this property. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop making payments, let them get foreclosed on, and I'm going to have my auntie go bid on them.
That would be like a strategic default.
Yeah, but it's illegal because she's not arm's length. So, oh, yeah, I got my house back, my auntie. I got to go visit her every weekend at all CCC because she was participating in a federal violating fraudulent act. So there's a whole process to it.
All right. So another myth is that you must be behind on your mortgage in order to negotiate a short sale.
Yeah. So what happens is, and I just had this question with another agent and a client, was that why don't you need to be in default? And I said, in the first short sales they were doing, they were just like black and white. You got to be in default.
They learned a lot from that whole situation, and then they made changes to their policies.
Because they're like, why should we stop receiving mortgage payments if we're going to take a less money on this property? Why don't we let them stay current to not bust up their credit and then approve the short sale anyway? Why are we going to be so rigid?
Yep.
So they changed.
Yeah. So they just need to have a hardship, any kind of monthly cash flow shortfall, or a pending shortfall. So we talked about the maintenance fees going way up. We talked about military people that are PCSing, and their BAH is going to be different. And if they rent it out, that's just...
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being super difficult, 1 being easy, I will tell you that not all lenders are a 10, requiring you to hop on one foot for 15 minutes, rub your stomach and your head in opposite directions. That's figuratively meaning all the paperwork and hoops they jump through. There are some that are a 1. Oh, you upside down? Okay, you're getting a divorce? Boom, get us a purchase contract. We're having approval. We'll even pre-approve based on market conditions what we're willing to take, because they're going to go hire an agent to tell them what it's worth. And if you owe $600,000, they're not mental. They know that you're not going to be able to sell that unit for $600,000 when the last comp was $550. You bring them an offer for $550.
They're happy.
They will actually pre-approve it. We've seen sometimes. Bring us the offer. Let's cut to the chase, and let's just get this thing done. Win-win for everybody.
Now, here's another myth.
But they're not all like that.
That buyers are not interested in short sales and avoid them. I would say that is definitely not true. However, the expectations need to be set up front that this is not for a buyer that needs to be moving in 30 days. Unless you do some kind of early occupancy. The other thing, too, is that if and any agent that is representing a buyer of a short sale, you can call my personal phone number, 388-5466, and it will give you the questions that you need to be asking of the listing agent to make sure, because I think you don't want your buyers wasting their time waiting on a short sale that will not ever be approved.
Just as much as you need to be knowing what you're doing by representing a seller, you need to know what you'd be doing if you're representing a buyer. And you could put your buyer into, here's a big pitfall. It can take 30, 60, 90 days to get that approval.
Mm-hmm.
So you go put your $150,000 into escrow, and then you do a loan lock for an awesome interest rate, and then the loan lock expires, and the buyer is yelling at you going, I sold my Trump Bitcoin. I could have made big money instead of that sitting in escrow.
Well, this is why we have a document that is agent guidelines, and it really helps for the buyer agent to set expectations with their buyers on what to do and what not to do.
Yeah. And everything was added in there. Every time I got yelled at, because I used to do all the counters and everything. Every time I got yelled at, why you never tell me not to do one loan lock? Okay, we're putting that in there. Why you never tell me not to do the termite inspection? Okay, you need to put that in there. Don't do the termite. Why you never tell me not to go put 150 grand and sell my Trump Bitcoin stock and put them in? Okay, we put that in there. So now we have like 10 things that we got yelled at.
And we'll be happy to share it with you, any agents that are out there listening, or if you're a buyer and you're interested at looking at these types of situations for your next home.
Hey, you're a broker. I got to get my agents educated on the short sales so they don't get us in the deep kimchi with doing stuff they don't know what they're doing. I will come to your brokerage and teach a class for 1 hour. Top 10 things you need to know about a short sale.
All right, next one. Listing my home as a short sale is an embarrassment.
No, it's not an embarrassment. It's, kakapasa. Life happens.
And you know what? I share this story with people that we meet with, and when I purchased the home that I still live in now, I bought it like right before the market really took a turn. And, I had been in real estate already several years. It was back in 2007. So basically, as soon as I bought my home, I was upside down. I used my PA loan. And I was
what a knucklehead. You was upside down. You're a realtor and you bought.
Yes, and I was upside down for years. But like for me, I didn't have PCS orders to leave.
Yeah.
And, the monthly payment was...
You had no valid hardship.
And I didn't want to leave my house. Like, I was fine staying there.
She tried. She's like, I have red hair. People keep calling me one ginger. Is that a hardship? They're like, no.
But you can't predict what's going to happen within the...
Nobody.
The market. Yeah.
If you had that kind of crystal ball, you should be playing blackjack in Vegas or buying
fast forward, here we are like 16 years later, and I have a ton of equity in the house. So... if you can afford to wait and hold on and just wait it out, it all works out.
Yeah.
I know that there's certain circumstances, maybe you've lost your job or you're getting a divorce or, you have the PCS orders.
Yeah.
And you can't hold on to the home. So like that's why that there's this tool.
Yeah.
And that Attilio and I are talking about.
Yeah. So I would tell you, let's go through.
The bank would rather foreclose than bother with the short sale.
Wrong. Here's the stats on it. The bank is a completely unemotional participant in this situation. They're like the movie Jerry Maguire.
Show me the money.
Show me the money. They literally have Cuba Gooding Jr. down at their office yelling at everybody, show me the money. And anyway, so all they care about is the money. And banks will lose, statistics, we run the numbers, they will lose more money in a foreclosure because they got to hire an attorney.
Well, especially here in Hawaii. Again, this is, state specific.
Yeah. They got to hire an attorney at $300 to $500 an hour. Like you send them an email. Oh, it took me an hour for make one reply. There's $500. Mm-hmm. And then so they spending thousands of dollars in legal fees.
So they'd rather just do the short sale and they'll make more money.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there's no legal fees because if they have a knowledgeable, experienced real estate team like Team Lally, doing it, they're happy. The banks are happy. They're excited. They're doing cartwheels in their office to want to do a short sale file from us because most likely we've already dealt with the attorneys, the law firms, the servicers. We already know what their rules are before we even pick up the phone. And we get it going right out of the gate with your first meeting with us.
All right, let's cover this last one before we end our show.
Yeah.
There is not enough time to negotiate a short sale before my foreclosure date.
Wrong! People have had auction dates 2 weeks away, and we've been able to get a postponement.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
With signed...
I wouldn't push it any further than that. Like, just
we've
questionable.
We've had people call us on a Monday, and we've stopped them on a Friday. We've had people call us the day before.
It's kind of stressful. But give us at least 2 weeks, please.
No, call us right now.
Call us right away.
Don't be a knucklehead.
If you have an auction date, call us.
Yeah,
we'll help you.
Here's our short sale ad. Don't be a knucklehead. Call now. But I will tell you, we'll do our best. But the closer you get to that auction date, the higher probability that we'll not be able to get a postponement. But we will do our very best. And I don't think there's any real estate team in the island that can pull out the most best compelling dog and pony show to get a postponement, because we're not going to tell them what we can do. We'll show them that we've completed hundreds and hundreds of short sales and help a ton of Hawaii families on all islands avoid foreclosure and deficiency judgments and everything else. And I sincerely and genuinely and authentically say, Adrienne, can we help these people?
Yes.
Yeah. And not help you off a cliff.
And we are, we do have a page on our website, and we're currently adding more videos, more information, updating it, just constantly. But you
and here's the domain name.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. WeLoveShortSales.com. Are you crazy with that domain name? Yes, we are. WeLoveShortSales.com. That's like saying we love car accidents.
Well, we love to help people that are in a bad situation.
I guess if I were a towing company, we love car accidents. I mean, we don't want anybody to get hurt.
No, it's really great to be able to have that conversation with someone who thought that they didn't have any, solution.
Here's the thing to put your mind at ease. There is no judgment on our part. Anytime anybody's being shamed because of something, the only difference between that person in that situation and everybody else around them, including family and friends, is that we don't know what your skeleton is in your closet. Mm-hmm. When you sit down with us, first thing we're going to tell you, you are good people. You're just in a bad situation. I'll say that one more time. You're good people. You're just in a bad situation. You're not terrible people in a terrible situation. You're good people in a bad situation, and we can help you. And
we have a solution. We have a plan. We got the resources. Just, give us a call.
799-9596, 799-9596. We're literally the hotline, the emergency hotline, the 911 for short sales. We can help you. The sooner you call us, the higher probability we have of success. Call us now. 799-9596.
Well, thank you for listening, and thank you to our sponsors.
Jody and Derek of Pacific Rim Mortgage.
Bradley of Allstate Insurance.
Kenji with Pillar to Post Home Inspections.
John of Kilauea Pest Control.
Duke with Hawaii Pacific Property Management.
Robinson, Fine Line Paintworks.
Ampy with Estate Planning Group.
Jason Wu, Attorney at Law.
Rhino with the Hawaii Unified.
Janice of Dreamhouse Drafting.
Fabio with Hawaii Water Damage Restoration.
Kyle of Impact Wealth.
If you want to get a hold of any of our sponsors, all you got to do is go to teamlally.com.
We also want to give a big thank you to Leah Rodriguez, our producer here in the studio.
Chee-hoo.
Make sure to tune in next week. We'll have an awesome guest talking about something that'll change your life.
Forever! This is the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed
Sold Program. If we can't sell your home at the agreed upon price and our time frame, we'll have it bought for cash. Thanks and aloha!